What's happening, Wrestling Nation? Coach Kennelly here, and today I'm doing an episode I'm calling it College Recruiting 101. So I come at this for an interesting perspective because I've done it as an athlete myself. In 2007, when I came out of high school in Illinois, I was a decent recruit, so I had interest from colleges, some small level D1 schools, Division III schools, where I ultimately ended up going, and junior college level. I've had it as the coach at Bradley Tech High School and City Kids Wrestling Club, sending kids to colleges, doing those things, and almost a parent role too with some kids whose parents couldn't take them on those visits or just wanted to entrust me with it because they didn't know about the collegiate scene. So I got to take the visits not only as the coach role, but as the parent role. And then I also was with Brian and Stratton College, and I got to recruit kids and do it from that side and bringing kids into the college and starting the college wrestling program. So I thought I had a lot of value to add here, and I wanted to help people navigate this world because it can be murky waters. But if you find a path and you give yourself, this will be a little navigation system for you, you can make your journey a lot easier. And that's what I'm looking to do with people and help you avoid some of the mistakes that I made along the way. So there's 3 areas that I think you should start to focus on. The first area is going to be a priority list. You want to make that number 1, and we'll talk about some things you want on there. So number 1 thing should be academics of your major. You're going to school to get an education. If you want to wrestle only, there's RTCs, you could do that. There's military and service options, we'll get into later. But make sure that they have something you want to study, or at least gets you credits that will transfer into another college that may have something you want to study. Transferable credits for the junior college level mean a lot. Some colleges play nice with each other, some don't. So do your research and make sure that they have something you'll be interested in for work. You don't need to declare your major right away. It helps if you do, but make sure they have a plan of something that you'd like to study, that you have something going on there. The next we're looking at is going to be costs, scholarship, NLIs, things like that. So are you somebody that's going to take that money? Is people paying you to go to the school? Are you looking to get a scholarship to go to the school? So sometimes that might mean turning down a better opportunity for wrestling, a better opportunity for education, because you need the money to go somewhere else. Is money not really a factor? Do you have already scholarships for academics that you're bringing with you? Do you have parents that maybe be paying for your things? Do you have money for that you've made yourself? So there's lots of different ways that money is, and some kids money is option number 1. Some kids money is a little further down the list. So depending where you're at, that's definitely a factor that you should be considering while you're going there. Another thing you want to look back is athletics holistically at the school. Not only the wrestling program, but how do they treat athletics overall in general? Are sports at the school growing, or are they shrinking? Are they cutting sports? Is your sport endowed? Do they have the money to go on in succession forever? Is it a tradition of wrestling at your school? Are they building a new program? What's the vision and where is it going? What's the vision for the overall athletics? College wrestling and college athletics is going through a wild place right now. You want to make sure your athletic department is on the up and up, and they have these things under control to help you along your journey, because you don't want to be having to navigate all these things for yourself as you're trying to compete in wrestling. It's hard enough to be a good top-level wrestler. And getting to that, something I should have said in the beginning, before you even make your priority list, something to know: only 5.2% of high school wrestlers are going to go on to wrestling college. So we're talking about a very small portion here. That doesn't mean there's not a spot for you, because there's college wrestling rosters with places unfilled, but you're going to have to go find ways to seek them, and that's why I'm helping you out with this blueprint. Of those 5.2 that athletes that are going on to wrestling college, 1.2 are going to the NCAA Division I level. So it's a very small percentage, the best of the best. And out of that 1.2, you know that you got to break down your percentage for scholarships. So if you want to get to the highest level, then scholarships are few and far between, and you need to know that, because there's a lot of misconceptions out there, and I want to try to break some of those. But there's scholarships available at these lower levels that we will talk about later on. If you're willing to go there and prove yourself, they could be a great ground to do that and great place to start your career. Another thing to consider is location. You're going to be living in this place for at least a year, if not 4 to 5 years. Is it somewhere you want to be? Do they have food options around there? Do they have places where you can get healthy food? Do they have other things? Maybe you want to do some MMA, maybe you want to do some grappling. Do they have places that you could supplement not only your wrestling, but cross-training, things like that? Do they have good, what's the weather like? How close is it to your family? Do you want to be away from your family? Do you want to be near? So there's a lot of things that goes into the location factor. So make sure that you consider that. Can you travel out there? Do you have enough money to get to this school? I had kids that wanted to come to my college, they could not afford to do it. They say, if you could pay for me to get there, I'd do it. It doesn't always work like that. So make sure that the location is somewhere that's accessible and that you want to be at. Would be my top 2 things for you. We're looking at resources and facilities. You want to see, go to the school, take your visit. We'll look at the bottom. There's official visits and unofficial visits. Sometimes the school will give you the money, they'll fly you out, whatever, pay for your meals, get you, and they could spend some money on you. That's your official visit. Or you can have some unofficial visits where sometimes you just get and you drive out to the school and you go find the people yourself. Hopefully you contact, say, hey, I'm coming for a visit, things like that, and they set you around. So depending on whether it's official, unofficial, and there's a select number of count with those that you want to see where your funding is coming through. That's where you get a good place to see the resources. What does the school have? Do they have nutrition on site? Do they have mental training on site? Do they have strength training on site? Do they have a wrestling facility? I thought every college did when I started the college program. They're like, all right, where are we going to wrestle? I said, at the wrestling gym. We don't have one, and I had to find an off-site wrestling facility about 20 minutes from our college. So even at the Division I level, UNI built their wrestling facilities. So see these facilities, and the division, I was looking, some Division III schools, and when I went to Wisconsin Whitewater had better facilities and resources than a lot of Division I schools. So those are things that we definitely want to take into consideration as we go there. The coach at the school is a big thing. Who do you want to wrestle for this person? And just make sure it's not only the coach, because coaches might leave. Just like athletes have the transfer portal, coaches can too. So training partners are there. Do they have an RTC? Are there people there that are going to make you better? Are you going to be the big fish in a small pond? Are you going to be a small fish in a big pond and earn your way? So that's your journey to do, and you decide which room is better for you. Some people are iron sharpens iron. Some people like to be that main focus in a small room and get that close attention on them. And there's not a right or wrong answer to all these. I'm just giving you things to think about and further your dialogue with your inner circle of people that are helping you make this collegiate decision. Team culture. Go and spend more than a day there. Spend a weekend, spend a week if you can. See what the kids do. What do they do during the night? What do they do during the day? What type of lifestyles are they living? Are they a party school? Are you a party kid? Are they a clean living school? Are you a clean living kid? Go for things that are same as you or what you want to be. Maybe you're not the perfect thing of the team culture yet, but you want to surround yourself around those people so you can be in that team culture. That's beautiful. Do that. And I got rid of their faith. Same thing. There's nothing wrong if it's part of your journey. Find place to have those resources, whether it's a FCA program, a mosque, a synagogue, a Hindi temple, whatever you're into. Just make sure that if faith's part of your journey, maybe you could bring that with you, or that they already have those resources available there. Will make it fun for you. Job placement, you want to look at the school. How many people come out of the school and getting jobs? Or if you're going to another, maybe you want to go to that World Olympic level, how many wrestlers are coming out of here and competing at that World Olympic level? If you want to go into MMA, how many people have come out here and went into MMA, and how many have done it successfully? How many have been successful accountants? Whatever you're into, look at that job placement and try to find people that can help boost you to that thing, and use wrestling as a tool to help you succeed later on in life, even if it's not only your only tool. Wrestling is something we do, it's not who we are. So use those to create more connections to help you go along through the world. We got history of success or start something new. That's you. If you want to go to a tradition long program, nothing wrong with that. If you want to do something like we did at Bryan Stratton, start something new, or Ben Asker did in Missouri, that's a great thing too. And that's just picking your path, but just know the pros and cons of both. And that middle stagnant program, I'd probably avoid, but hey, there's growth opportunities there too. They're always looking for that kid to be a flag bearer, put the program on the map, and make sure you do that. And at the bottom, something else I want to mention is make sure they have any support or special needs that you might have. As you know me, special needs are in my family. I use some of them in college as well. So make sure that, I didn't know I needed them, but they had them at Wisconsin Whitewater, and I took study skills classes and all these other things that helped me learn how to be a student, to do things like this. And those kids were great friends for me throughout my journey. And it was really beneficial classes that helped me throughout life. So don't humble yourself if you have to, and make sure they have resources with you. My kid's gonna need, maybe by the time you get college, resource, and I'll make sure the school has that. And there's kids now, I see at the Division I level wrestling with autism and different things like that. There's been a blind wrestler, so whatever it is, the wrestler one leg, Anthony Robas, he's on Amazon Prime, Unstoppable is a great story. So there's no one saying you can't do it, but try to make it as smooth as possible and see if the school has resources to help you do it. So obviously that's not a complete list, but that's our list for priorities, and that's a good place where I think you should list those in order before you even start to do your school visits and things like that. Next, you want to know about your levels or your options for collegiate. So you're going to have your scholarship or your non-scholarship. Scholarship level, the top one we usually know is NCAA Division One. They could give scholarships now up to 30, but not everybody is on scholarship in the program. NCAA Division Two, same thing. They could give scholarships. They compete at a high level, but not everybody in that program is on scholarship. You might be on a full scholarship. You might be on a partial. You might be on a dollar scholarship. Some kids just want to say they're on scholarships. I've signed kids for $1, and they say they're on an athletic scholarship, and that works for them in their situation. So just know the options that are out there with that. We also have military or service school. Now that you get your tuition paid for free, but you also do have to do some things like sign up and serve your country. So if you're that type of person or financially that's something you're looking for, they compete at a very high level. They have a WCAP program, so you can go on to Olympic level success, especially if you're a Greco-Roman person. I'd really recommend looking into this. And yeah, it's great. And thank you for your service for those kids that choose to do that. Wyatt Hendrickson just won a national title from the Air Force to Oklahoma State, so we want to see more of that. It's beautiful. Army West Point's got a program that's good. Kerry Colot's at Navy, so they have the best coaching in the world here and the best academics in the world. If you're a top level student, there's no reason you shouldn't hear the pitch, at least from these military and service academies. You have your another league called NAIA. They have different rules from the NCAA. They offer a lot of scholarships. They have a lot of money. There's not too many in the Midwest, but I see a lot down south and on the coasts. But look into them, especially if you're a person who cost is a high on your factor. Life University is great, the NAIA. Grandview University is one of the best ones. And look into everywhere in between. See where your skill level is. If you're a top level person, those where you want to be looking. Or other ones are going to be looking for people to make the roster. So I sent a lot of kids NAIA because I come from an area of a lot of poverty. So cost was high on our list. So we're able to get some scholarships in there that we might have not been able to get at some of those other levels. And not all the NAIA schools have scholarships, so reach out and talk to them and figure out, which one is best for your fit, and then go through the priority list with them as you do. We got the junior college level and JCAA, and some of them have scholarships, some do not. So there's a lot of empty rosters here. There's some very high-level wrestlers, and there's some wrestlers that, are just filling spots. So this is a great place to prove yourself. Don't come in there and think you're going to beat everybody up, because it ain't that sweet for sure. But you wrestle against all these other divisions there, so you can't just, if you go to JUCO, you don't just wrestle against JUCO guys. You wrestle D1, D2, D3, all that stuff. So if you're the man, you will show it, and these other people will come looking for you. You climb up and down the ladder as, accordingly as your journey takes you. We have the NWCA, which is the club level. Now, some of these will be full schools with 7 coaches, great facilities, and they'll be better than some of the other, real teams, for lack of a better word. But in some of these, they'll just be a kid starts a program and they roll out like a couple yoga mats and there's guys scrapping on them. So some have scholarships, some don't. Look in, do the priority list, but there is some good wrestling at the club level, and there's some people doing it at really high level and fun things that I think could be replicated. And last, if you live in Cali, they do have their own junior college scene. I'm not too familiar with, but I believe it's free if you're a California resident. There's some tough wrestlers coming out of there. They go on to compete at some high-level stuff, too. I know that a lot of them have success at the NAIA level. We also have our non-scholarship schools. The best non-scholarship level is the Division III. I cover a lot of Division III stuff. These are true student athletes. They're not getting any athletic money, but they are scrapping. They're doing it for the love of the sport, and some of these guys are going on to make Olympic world teams, very few, but it's a great spot to get a good education at an affordable price and chase your dreams. So that was why I went out to Wisconsin Whitewater, very affordable, cheaper to go into the schools in Illinois, and thank God it brought me to the great state of Wisconsin. And yeah, they're just look into these. There's some really tough programs. The Bergs, Wartburg, Augsburgs at the top, Wisconsin Lacrosse and State, Wisconsin Eau Claire with Coach Fader's doing good things. Johnson and Wales just tied for the national title out in Providence. So they've got schools in Oregon. So these are going nationwide. All these divisions are growing, adding women's programs. So you want to get on the up and up in this and just reach out to these people, because there's probably, if you're a high school wrestler watching this, there's a new program starting this year and they're looking for you, and the next step will show you how to get in touch with them. And the last two non-scholarships, we talked about them, are just junior college and club teams, and they have some that compete there with, and they don't have an offer scholarships yet for whatever reason, maybe school's philosophy, maybe they just don't have the money yet, but you can still go there, compete there, and then you can go to one of these scholarship levels if that is your dream. So now we're deep into the weeds of this college recruiting stuff. We want to get found. How do we do it? So you got to be proactive, number one. You can't just be sitting around, closed mouth, don't get fed. If you think the college coaches are going to wait and find you and you don't have the supreme results, they're lazy. They're not. Most of them are not. Look, if they might have one coach dedicated to recruiting, but now they're in the transfer portal. They're retaining guys on the team. They got so many concerns at the high school athlete. You're really lower down the list, but you can make yourself higher down the list and you can pump yourself into where you need to be. And it starts by being proactive. So you want to go on the websites, fill out these questionnaires, and slide in the coaches' DMs. There'll be kids all the time, Instagram, Facebook, phone numbers. These coaches are easy to find. Reach out to them, tell them you're interested in the school and see where it goes. Do it like, you're hitting on a girl kind of. That's how I would think about it. And some might go well. You're going to get rejected a lot of times. Be okay with that. But once you find the good one, it's going to be all worthwhile, and that process is really going to pay off for you. Also, a great place to get discovered is camps and clinics. Most of these, the good colleges, will be hosting camps and clinics throughout the year, mostly in the summer. Go there, ask questions, roll with the college guys. If you have a good feel and you make a good impression on these people, you say you spot it because you got it. So if you belong in this room in the college, they're going to come and they're going to find you. The cap is your door in. If you don't have the money, fundraise, make videos, do whatever you got to do to get to this camp. Because once you get in front of these coaches, they don't have the option of being lazy anymore. You're right in front of it. And if you really about it, they will see it and they'll be able to get on that quicker than later. RTCs are good if you qualify. So I know Wisconsin's like top 4. You get to go to the Badger RTC, usually within like 120, 90-mile radius. So if you're one of the top guys in the state, start looking to the closest regional training center to you and get in the room. It'll up your level by getting with higher level wrestlers, and it'll get you in front of these collegiate coaches. It doesn't mean you have to go to the school. Some kids train all the way up till they commit at an RTC and then go to a different place. But it gives you that high-level training that's close to your house, and you get to be in these college rooms, get a little feel for it. And I think there's a ton of value in that, and you should definitely do it. You want to wrestle at national tournaments. Your state one's going to get you a little exposure, but not too much. We're talking Fargo. We're talking World Team Trials. That puts you on the map. Greco, not so much, but freestyle definitely will. And going, if you're not at the level of the international styles, going to those ones in Iowa, I think Brian Keck or something it's called, those nationals will get you a little exposure to. You want to hit up your Super 32s, whatever big tournaments you can to get yourself on the map. The AWA does the PFL. If you can get on one of those squads, that's great exposure. You don't need to go to the national tournament. You'll get those matches. National duels is a great one because then you get to face the state champ of everything. Sometimes that's more valuable than going to Fargo. So get the best bang for your buck, but you got to get on that national scene if you want to wrestle high level collegiately. You want to send film of your matches, tough matches, and matches against good kids, good wins. Don't send that highlight tape of you beating up scrubs. No coach wants to see it. It doesn't give you any value. It's cool for you to show your buddies. You put on YouTube, but give those hard matches. Maybe a match you came back and win. Maybe a match where you battled close, but you lost and you fought. Because the coaches there, we're going to look at matches when you lose. Do you walk and cry off the mat and run the stands? Or do you fight hard tooth and nail and you left it all out there and you shake the guy's hand afterwards and you give your best effort? Because at the end of the day, that's all I'm looking for is you give your best effort with a good attitude while doing it, and you go out there fearless trying to win. We can't guarantee we win, but we can guarantee that we're going to fight and scrap and get to that. And I want to see what you do in those losing matches. So the scrub highlight tape, it's not doing anything for you but impressing your homies, which is also cool. So I'm not saying don't make it, but just make sure that you know the value in it as you're going through there. And we already talked about visits a little bit. That's another good way to get found. Whether you got to do it yourself, whether you do it unofficial, or whether you do an official, just make sure that you go out there and you get it. In college wrestling, there's a reason these numbers are so small. Not because there's not spots, because college wrestling is hard. So if it's something you want to do, you need to do the hard work to get in there. Unless you're that blue chip golden person whose phone's ringing a bunch on commitment day in June. But if you're not that person, your phone didn't ring, get on this, start it. If you need help, reach out to me. Feel free to help you along that process, maybe even recommend some good schools. I'm not in the game anymore. I have nothing to gain, but I still want to help wrestlers as part of what I do and as part of what's going to grow this channel. So I appreciate you watching. Come anywhere in the world and you watch this. And yeah, best of luck out there in your college search. If you need anything, let me know. Until then, it's peace and much love to you.